we created these UI elements for the tip calculator, and so we have not created outlets for it, and we'll get started on that right now. So let's hide the right pane here, and let's go to show our assistant editor. Here we go. And now before we create our outlets, we need to create a code file to store our outlets and our subsequent code in. So let's go to File menu, New, and File. And again, this is the same step that we went through for the tax calculator. It's a macOS Cocoa class template. Click Next. Give it a name. So I'm going to call it Tip View Controller. It's a subclass of NS View Controller. And uncheck also create XIB file for user interface. So once you've done that, let's click Next. And let's save it in the same location where you saved the text view controller earlier, and click Create. And so now the tip view controller is created. I'm going to open the left pane and get to the tip view controller. No, not, I meant get to the storyboard here. Yeah. And I'm going to open the right pane. I'm going to select the view controller for the tip and go into show identity inspector here. Let me see, try to get that to come up again. Show the identity inspector. You can kind of see it. And I'm going to enter that the class for this view controller is the tip view controller. And I'm going to let it autocomplete and hit enter on the keyboard. And now I'm going to go down here and select automatic and select the tip view controller. So here's the code file for our tip view controller, and we're going to start creating outlets. So let me get started on that, and I'm going to control click the subtotal amount here, and I'm going to drop it right under the class declaration. We're going to enter the name for this outlet. This is called label subtotal amount, and click connect. You can actually hit enter on your keyboard to do the same thing, and your outlet's created. And give myself a little more space, and I'm going to do the next outlet, and the next outlet is called label total after tax amount. Enter. And the slider needs an outlet as well. It's going to be called slider tip percentage. Enter. And this is label tip percentage. Enter. And label tip amount and connect. And I didn't drop it in the right place. And let me do that again. And this is label total after tip amount. Enter. So now we'll create an action for the calculate tip button. And so let me do that right now. And change the connection to action, change the type to NS button, calculate tip button, clicked, connect. And give ourselves a little more space. And here we are. We've created this action, and we've created all the outlets we need to work with for the code to work with it. And so another thing we need is an action for the user. What happens when the user moves the slider or click and drags the slider? So let's also create that. And give myself some space. Control drag and drop the slider. Connection is action. Type is NS slider. And going to say tip percentage slider changed. Hit enter, and my action is created.